in this chapter, we are going to see how to interact with different types of dropdowns. So when I say dropdowns, we have to understand one thing. There are two kinds of dropdowns in the UI level. The one which basic the default HTML style. For example, if I go and inspect this dropdown, you can see that every options, right? So we have a select, and within the select we have all the options. So this is the actual dropdown. So when there is a tag or element tag called select, and within that if you are able to see something called options, that is the actual drop down. But in most of the time, if you take any of the modern website like the Bootstrap or Angular, if I go and show you example, for example, uh, this one, right? For example, if you go to this one, it looks exactly like your drop down, right? So if you click on this, it's going to bring up all the other elements, or else I can show you another one. Like here we have this gender. So if I click on this, you can see it's giving us male or female, right? But if I go and inspect this particular element, you can see that it is not within the select tag, rather it is within the div tab, right? So in that case, we cannot handle the traditional way of using the select class from Selenium. Rather, what we have to do is we have to first click on this particular element, and then we have to click on this element. That is how we have to uh, do this kind of what we call that drop down. Okay, but we have a traditional way of handling the drop downs with the help of select class in Selenium, and we can do with the help of three methods. One is by the visible text. For example, if I click on this drop down, you can see that we have like apple, mango, orange, banana, and pineapple, correct? So that is what we are able to see within the options as well, right? So within the option tag and the closing of option tag, you can see that we have apple, orange, mango, apple, I mean pineapple, and banana, right? So these are visible text, and here you can see that for each and every options we have the value. So we can select based on the index, that is the position, or else visible text that we are able to see here, or the value that we have over here. Okay, so let's see how to interact with the different types of um, drop downs. Okay, so first of course we have to inspect this one. So this is the drop down. Why we are doing like this? In the sense, you can see that in this page we have like a four number of drop downs. So first I have to say that I'm going to interact with this particular drop down, right? So here it says that select the apple using visible text. So right, so let's add a comment, and we are going to do that. So first, if I go and inspect this select, it has id called fruits. I'm going to copy that, and here I'm going to say driver dot find element by id, and the id value is this. Now let me store that it in a web element as a fruits here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I will name this like fruits element, okay, just to identify. And then we are going to call another class called select in Selenium, that is used to handle all the drop downs. So here I can say like select, and okay, my bad, I have done a very bad thing here. Let me show you. So here you can see that the class name is select, that is coming from chapter 7. So chapter 7 is nothing but my package name, and there is already a class called select that is from the Selenium. So if you have the same class name, sometimes we can use it, but it is not recommended. So I'll just go and change this class name. Okay, so you can click on F2 on that file, and I'll just name like drop down. Okay, so why I'm doing this, because in Selenium also there is a class called select. I don't want to confuse my script, so I'm renaming this to drop down. Now here I can say select, and that is coming from org.openqa.selenium.support.ui. Okay, and here I'm going to say like fruits. Okay, so this is going to be my fruits drop down, and here we have to call the constructor. And if you notice, in the constructor we have to pass the web element that is already we have stored over here. Now why in the constructor it asking me for a web element? In the sense, very simple, we know that in a page we might have a number of drop downs. To specify to the script or to the select class which drop down we are going to interact, we are passing that as a web element. Now if you notice something here, in this class, in this constructor, we are passing web element. Did you see something anywhere in our code previously? Definitely you would have, right? So if I go to the base class, and if I go any of the functions, you can see that we we have used the web element everywhere in all the functions, right? They are passing the constructor, we are passing the method. That is the only difference, right? So now I believe at least you have an idea like how to use these functions, because we are writing the functions but we are not using it at any script, because once we learned all the basics we will definitely use this one. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's go. Now here I'm going to say fruits. Before that, let me show you what are the functions available within the select class. So if you click on this select, control plus click, you can see that it is a class and the name is select, and they have some given some description. If you want, you can read that. And if you give control O, you can see all the methods that are present within that particular class. The red color we cannot access, the green color we can access. So here you can see that we have the constructor first, then we have get wrapped element, then is multiple, get options. I will show you one by one. So what are the functions we can use, we mostly used, I'm going to show you all that. Okay, fine, cool. Now let's go and select. So we are going to use the visible text function. So here I'm going to say fruits dot select by visible text. So you can see for selection we have three functions. One is index, one is value, another one is the visible text. And to deselect we have same deselect by index, deselect by value, or deselect by visible text. Okay, so let's go with the first one. So select by visible text, and the text I am interested is basically banana. So let me copy and paste over here, and I'm going to run this. So I have disabled my or commented this driver.quit because I want to show you the output. Okay, so right click, run as Java application. And here you can see that it selected the banana. Also we got some notification over in the UI. If you want, of course you can do the validations, right? Validations we'll see that maybe in later on stages. So as of now it's fine. Okay, so banana it's selected. Okay, now let's go and select now let's go and do the next one. So here you can see select your superheroes. Heroes, not a hero. That means this is multiple. I can select multiple guys, right? So I can select Ant-Man, Aquaman, the Avengers, the Batman. I can select multiple guys. Now how to know if it supports, if that drop down supports multiple selection? Because if you go here, I can either select mango or the banana. I cannot select multiple, but in this drop down I can select multiple. So if I give control click, that means I can select multiple. How to identify that? So first of all, we'll see whether it's a drop down or not. For that, we have to check the tag name. Of course, it's a select, it's a drop down. And here we have a property called multiple. That means it supports multiple selection as well. And it has ID called superheroes. So let us find that one first, right? So I'm going to comment it out as of now. And I'm going to say driver dot find element by ID, and I'm going to show that in a web element called heroes dd dd instance dropdown, or we can name it like element. And let me expand this one. Yeah, and then again we are going to create the select, right? So I'm just going to copy this guy, paste over here, and here we'll pass this guy. Okay, so select, you'll name it like heroes maybe. Yeah, heroes equal to new select, and heroes element we have passed that, right? Now first we'll check whether it's a multiple or not, right? So here we can see like check multiple. Okay, so we're going to say heroes dot is multiple. That's going to return me a boolean, so either you can go with true or false. And here I'm going to say sys out, and I'm going to say multiple. Okay, so if it's going to return me true, that means it can accept multiple selection. If it's going to return me false, that means of course we cannot do it. Okay, so it's true, of course we can do it. Let's go and check for this one, right? So for the previous one, so let's go, and here I'm going to uncomment this one, and here I'm going to say sys out fruits dot is multiple. Okay, so we are expecting false here and we are expecting true here, right? So let's go and run. Before that, let me quit my browser this time because we are not interested on the output. So right click, run as Java application. Okay, so the first one is false because that is not going to allow us to select multiple. Second one is true because that's going to allow us to select multiple. Okay, now I'll do the multiple selection, right? So here I'm going to say driver dot, not driver dot. Here I'm going to say heroes. I'm going to select by index. So select by index, and I will pass like randomly two. So whatever there in the second position, that's going to be selected, and then I'm going to say another one. So heroes dot select by value, just to show you like value. So let's go and inspect, right? So I'm selecting the second by index, second in the sense this is my 0, this is my 1, this is my 2. So Avengers will get selected, and then I want to select the let's say that I want to select Captain America. So the value is CA, so I'm just going to copy and paste over here. And also I'm going to select my favorite guy Iron Man, so I'm going to select that based on the visible text. So we are going to perform all the selections based on different actions, different functions. Okay, now let's comment this one because I want to show you what I'm going to select. So let's go and run this now. Okay, so here you can see it got selected the Avenger, and if I scroll down, you can see Captain America is also selected, and if I scroll down, and that's going to Iron Man. Don't worry, here the message says only Avengers because I built this website. I know I do not know that much to how to get all the selected values, so it's showing only the first selected values. Sorry for that, but in the UI level, you can see that it's got selected. Now, just in case if you want to know like what are the things has been selected, we have options for that. Let me show you that as well, right? So here I'm going to say, after all the selections, I'm going to say heroes dot get all selected options, and that's going to return me list of web element. I believe you know what is list set, so based on that I'm going to continue now. Okay, and it's going to say like all selected options, so I'm going to use the for each here, and from the all selected options we'll get one web element at a time. So I'll just name it like one hero here, and then I'm going to sys out hero dot get text, so to get the text from there, not tag name, get text. Okay, let me run this now, and also I'm going to use the quit so that the browser will get closed automatically. Okay, and we'll close the existing browser. Let's go and run this now. List is very simple concept. It allows duplicates, and basically it maintains the order, whereas set doesn't allow duplicates and doesn't maintain the order based on the implementing class. Okay, I believe you already know. If you don't know, just do let me know. I will try my best to make a separate video on that. Okay, so here you can see we got the Avengers, the Captain America, and my favorite Iron Man as well. Okay, okay, so in this way we can get all the selected options as well. Okay, so we are pretty much done for the these two examples. Now go and select. It says that select the last programming language and print all the options. I will just leave this for you for your assignment. You can do based on the practice like this. So let's not waste time. So I believe you got the options like get selected options is basically used to get all the selections option. Now there is a favorite interview questions like how to print. For example, here like select India using value and print the selected value. So we have to print the selected value. How to do that? Okay. So let me show you this one. I think that is pretty much enough. So here we have a ID called country. So let me copy that. And here I'm going to say driver dot find element by ID, and the value I'm going to store it as a web element as country element, and I'm going to call the select. So here um, I will just create a new object. Of course, I can use the reuse. I can reuse the object as well, but we are going to create a new object. Okay. Reuse in the sense we have to again call the constructor, and we have to change the locator. So we are creating the new one. Okay, so we'll say like country equal to new select, and here we pass our country element. Okay, then I'm going to select based on the value. So we have a value of India, I believe. So yeah, we have a value of India, so I'll just select. So country dot select by value, sorry, not index, select by value, and the value is this one. Okay, and then we are going to get the first selected option text, right? So here I can say again country and dot get first selected options. Like here we are using get all selected options because it's multiple, and here we are getting the first selected options because it's suppose only one, and that's going to return me a web element. Like I can say like selected country, something like that. And from there, of course, we have to get use the function called get text to retrieve the text. Okay, so I'm going to say out this one dot get text. So get attribute is used to get the attribute values. For example, if you have input and you want to get some value of the attribute, you can use get attribute. Get text in the sense whatever we are seeing there in the visible. Okay, so that is what get text. Now let's go and run this. Before that, yeah, quit is there, so no problem. So it will run quit, and we can see the console to check the output, right? So here you can see we are getting idea. Sorry for that, not idea. We are getting India because that is what we selected, right? Okay. It's been a while. I'm talking too much, so that is the reason. Nothing else. Okay. So I believe you understood about all the functions of the drop down. Other than that, what we have is we have the like a deselect. For example, let's say that I have selected the index by 2 and I want to do the deselect. Okay, so I will say deselect. That means whatever the value it's selected, it will deselect. So here in the first time, like if I go and show you the console, you can see that it selected the Avenger that is in the second position. But now when I try to print it, it will not show the Avenger because we have deselected. Okay, so let me right click and run and show you once again. Okay, so this time we don't have the Avengers because that is selected and then deselected. Okay, so that is what select class all we have. We don't have anything other than that. So it's very simple. We can select a drop down, we can deselect a drop down, we can get the first selected options, or else we can get all the selected options. Now to select, we have three functions: get selected, get select by visible text, select by index, select by value. And then to deselect, we have all the three functions: deselect by index, deselect by values, deselect by visible text. Okay, now based on this we are going to create a reusable function. Okay, so mostly we use select, not the deselect. Mostly depends on the test case again. So we are going to see how to write the for the select class. Okay, and of course we should write a documentation. That is what I recommended when we are going to build a framework. I'm skipping as of now, but maybe in some point in some lecture I will try to show you how to add a documentation as well. Okay, now let's go and write our first function to select by visible text. Okay, we'll just name it very simple. So I will say like public void select text. Okay, so we'll just name it like select text. And then we'll write one more function. So I will say like public void select index, and this one. And also we'll write, let's write for the value as well. Okay, so select value. So value, we'll just rename this like value. Okay, that's it, pretty much done. Now of course all the three places we have to pass the web element, right? So first definitely we need a web element. So web element comma visible text, right? So that's going to be of string type. So string visible text. Okay, and here for the index we need the web element for sure, and then we need the index. That is going to be index, right? So int I or index, whatever you feel good. Okay, and for the select value, what we need for the select value, we need the value, right? So we'll say string value. That's it, pretty much code. And here we are getting error because we have one extra e. We'll remove that. Okay, now let's write the actual code. So here I'm going to say new select. So I'm just calling the constructor directly without creating an object. And here I'm going to say dot select by visible text, and the text whatever you're going to get, right? And if you want, we can add a log here. and is selected, we can say like not this one. So yeah, okay, we can say like is selected and then followed by the text whatever we are passing. Okay, now just in case let's say that we have to confirm whether it's selected or not, right? So in that case we can create the object here. So we can say like control to L select, and then I can say like select dot visible text, and after that what we have to do, we have to select dot um, get first selected options, and we can store that here, selected one selected option, and then I can write a if condition here, right? So I can say like if selected option dot equals the visible text, then I can say like is success, like it's like your success one. It's okay, selected options dot get text we have to use dot get text. So we'll retrieve the text from the selected options and we'll check the visible text. So if it's selected, then it's fine. Else what we can say is we can say like visible text not found, select choice is wrong, something like that. Okay, we can say like option is not there. Okay, option is not there. Okay, so I hope you understood what I did. Just let me give you a quick recap. So first we are creating select equal to new select, and then we are saying select by visible text, and once we select that one we are trying to get the first selected options, and we are using the get text to retrieve the text, and we are checking with whatever the value we are passing. So if that is going to be true, in that case it will say like is selected. Okay, else what will happen, else in the sense it will say like option is not there. But my bad, if the visible text here itself is wrong, then it will not even do the selection, it will throw you error. Okay, so here you can say it will say like no such element exception, there is no matching elements found. Okay, um, so this is useless. So okay, maybe this is for your positive scenario. If it's negative, it's going to be different. We can use the try catch. We'll re-enhance this code. Okay, so I'll just write to do here. So to do, and I can say like enhance it later. Okay, so enhance it later. To do is really cool. So this to do in VS Code we have something like to do tree. That means from the to do tree I can just one click and I can see like wherever I have given all the to dos. Okay, that's different part, let us talk in different video. Okay, okay, so we'll just enhance it later as of now, so that's fine. Okay, now same for the index as well as value. So I will make this to do for you. Okay, you have to complete it. Okay, so I don't want to make you feel like spoon feeding everything, so I'll just at least I can give you 2 or 3 to dos so you can also practice. Okay, okay, so done. We are pretty much done with the drop down and also the base class. So we have completed chapter 7 so far. We'll see you in the next one very soon.